And we're back for game 2, so I'm really interested in how Chris has sideboarded against the Mardu deck that Darren's playing.
That's right. It's a interesting matchup, the Abzan versus Mardu, because there's no. I don't believe that there's a definitive better deck out of the two. It's just that depends on the pilot and depends on the list, the final, what's going on with the list. Because there are so many different variants of both decks out there that it really depends.
It's
on
not
what they're doing.
Not like Mono Black Control where there was a definitive list for a long time.
Yeah, there might be about 3 cards in the list or something like that vary. Now that's Seeker of the Way for Darren. Now he's up a game, so
but no damage because of the planes.
Yeah, I think he's happy to be landing the first threat. Now let's see what Chris does. If he's got interestingly enough, he's playing 2 tap lands first off. He's accidentally revealed that he's got a Sorin. And he's just gone Swamp Pass. I feel like he's playing a Sorin next turn, unless he's got something else that I don't know about in his hand.
And that attack puts Chris on 18. Interesting that he went 3 turns without a play.
Yeah, I don't think Chris really wants to be doing that, but it looks like he's got a Siege Rhino in hand as well.
I was going to say the same thing. Can he cast it, however?
Yes,
absolutely.
He's got the 2 Sandstep Citadels, so he's playing Siege Rhino. I feel like he kept the hand based off the strength of Siege Rhino Sorin, at the very least. Now, there's that Crackling Doom we were talking about earlier.
And that puts Chris at 19, Darren at 17.
Alright, now it's interesting that Darren played the Crackling Dune on curve, probably because he's about to play this spell. Because a lot of the time with the Seeker of the Way decks, you want to be playing your removal spell during your turn.
So, Crackling Doom, your turn, trigger the prowess, attack through for 3 and gain 3. However, it's 17 all now.
Yeah, he's decided not to play something this turn, so
that was definitely a play mistake there. I
don't know if it was a mistake or if he's just Darren's just trying to play something on curve in case he top deck something. So I think I saw a Hordling outburst in his hand.
I thought I saw a Charm as well.
Yeah, the outburst is kind of awkward because he's only got a Mana Confluence as his red source, and I believe
Rebel Master.
I believe he took a point of damage from. He's taken 2 points of damage throughout this game from that Mana Confluence.
1 for the Doom and 1 for the Rebel Master.
Yep.
So that should put him on 15.
And he's now attacking for 3.
No blocks from Chris, putting him on 14.
Yep. This is an interestingly uneventful game. So, well, eventful but uneventful from Chris's side because he's only played 1 spell. He's decided not to play his Sorin out of fear of something.
So even though he's only played 1 spell, though, he's got Darren down to 15.
That's right. Although we've got to remember that 2 of that damage was self-inflicted from Darren's part.
So he's got a Wingmate Rock in hand, but he doesn't want to cast that now because he wants to try and get full value out of it.
Yeah, now that's actually an interesting card to play. I personally haven't played with it myself, but the decisions with that card are very interesting when you have an empty board, whether or not to just run it out. Now, End Hostilities is pretty much the perfect card for him to play there.
I have no problems with that play whatsoever.
Now, what Chris wants ultimately is to be able to play maybe that Sorin or some other threat. Oh, we've got a Perforos.
That's something you don't see in every Mardu deck.
Yeah, no, he had to take a point of damage to play that.
Is that also a response to Chris playing End Hostilities, possibly from the sideboard?
It really depends. Perforos is one of those cards that a lot of decks like to, especially Hordling Outburst decks, like to have a Miser's copy in the main deck, but without talking to Darren, I wouldn't know if that's a main deck card or a sideboard card. But I can see the argument for bringing it in to punch in some more damage if it is a sideboard card.
I'm just looking at the fact that you end hostilities, it stays on the board. So you've still got some sort of board presence there.
Now Chris is can't see what else is in his hand. He hadn't played that Siren yet because I think he's afraid of it just dying. But he really needs to commit something. I think there's a Brimaz in his hand. He's playing the Siren. I assume he's going to make a token. No, he's plus one. Okay, that's actually I like that play because he's expecting Darren to play a creature and Perforos will just kill Siren if he had made a token. Now Darren's finally hit his second red, but he's got to wait a turn before I can use it. Now that Mardu Charm can, at instant speed, make 2 1/1 soldiers. But he's chosen to play the Goblin Rabble Master, which is going to kill Siren.
Well, it's 2 from the Rabble Master coming into play.
Yep.
2 from the token coming into play, and then attack with the token, taking out Siren.
I love that play.
That's very nice. So how much damage does Hordling Outburst do? 6?
Hordling Outburst deals 6 damage. And, well, that's a Thoughtseize from Chris, and just for your life total tracking, Darren took 1 from the Minor Confluence again.
So we've got Darren on 13 and Chris on 12.
Now we can see his hand.
After the Thoughtseize.
He's got, it looks like, is that an Dictator of Heliod, is that? Yeah, Flash Creature. That's a Dictator of Heliod, 2 Hordling Outbursts, and a Mardu Charm. So,
wow.
Not counting the Dictate, that's which Chris has gotten rid of. Mardu Charm can deal 4 damage if he chooses to make tokens, and Hordling Outposts are 6 damage each. In other words, it doesn't look good for Chris.
So put out an Outburst, 6 damage from the God. Then,
Alright, he's got Hero's Downfall on the Rabble Master, which is good for Chris.
That's a pre-combat.
Yep. And, okay, so what's happened here is Darren's attacked for 1 with his token, and then he's made 3 more Goblin tokens, which have punched Chris for 6.
Putting Chris down to 5.
Yeah, look.
So that's game over next turn with your second Outburst, unless he can get rid of the God, really.
Yeah, second Outburst or instant speed Mardu Charm will.
Chris just extends the hand, says thanks very much. That was an easy win to Darren, that one.
Yeah, it was. Perforos just punished him.